Right. Dearest listeners,
Book babes and book bros.
welcome to Book Babble. I'm Rachel,
And I'm Tanya, and we're the Witlet Women, your hosts for the day.
and today we have Kay Cardella with us, the author of The Blue Rose, in our rapid fire AMA session. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Kay Cardella. I'm the author of The Blue Rose is a dark serial unaliving romance where the MMC falls for his next victim.
I just have to say really quickly that I love the cover of your book. It's gorgeous. I love seeing it in person. It's so fun. I love that.
Beautiful.
Um, okay, well, we are so excited to have you on. We're gonna jump into the 5 minute session. I will put 5 minutes on the clock and then we'll get
Okay,
started. Are you ready to babble?
I'm ready.
Awesome. All right.
All right. So, what inspired you to write these stories?
I actually came up with the idea in seventh grade because I was at a charter school called Creative Connections Arts Academy, and they told us where we wanted to be in 20 years. And I was like, I want to write this serial killer romance. But it expanded within the time. So I wrote a little bit. It was a completely different story back then. Still the same premise. Serial killer falls for his next victim. But I wrote it last year and it completely changed into match who I am today.
That's awesome. So, kind of like speaking to that a little bit more, how did you know you wanted to write dark romance in general? Like, what was it in seventh grade that prompted you to do that?
Just been through a lot of trauma as a childhood, and I've always been into horror. Like that was like my comfort as a kid, and still is my comfort today. I just love everything that has to do with the psychological stuff behind it, and especially I've always been fascinated by serial killers, and I've always wanted to I was like, I feel like I could write about one because my brain was like, why did they think how they did? And I was like, let me go figure it out why.
Yeah.
Oh, relatable. I specialize in forensic populations, so it's exciting
I
to
love
read
that.
these novels. So yeah, I really get into it. What's your process for writing? How do you manage just the thoughts in your head and get those on paper?
I get honestly my best thoughts always come when I'm trying to go to sleep at night or like when I'm first waking up or when I'm in the shower and I'm like, oh, I gotta write down this little quote that I just thought of or the next scene that I just thought of. But my editor is really great to help me get that timeline of where I want to go in my book. So I have the beginning, the middle, and the end, mostly the ending, because the filling in part is always the hardest for me because I'm like, okay, now what do I want to do? But once I figure out what I want to do, then it starts flowing really well and it connects all together at the end.
That's a really good process. I feel like so many people have like the best thoughts at night. So, relatable.
Literally, I can't ever
Um,
sleep.
right. So, circling back kind of to the psychological aspects, how do you prep yourself to enter like the darkest parts of your book and still, I don't know, not go down a horrible path in your brain?
Um, I kind of just like what would my character do? Like, because Aster, he's a serial killer, but Serena, she's his next victim. So I have to always differentiate between the two characters, not try to crisscross them, or I have to remember who they are. Because some like, especially with book two right now, I kind of lost who my main character was. So my editor was like, "This doesn't sound like him." I'm like, "You're right, it doesn't." So I have to like it's easier for me. I don't know why it is, but it's like I can go there and then just be like, oh, look, I'm a mom and wife again. And I can just kind of like put that wall between like that. Because it's also kind of like when you're watching a movie, like a scary movie, or like if you're watching a TV show that has to do with it, you're into it. You're like, oh, yeah, that's really cool at the time. But it's like in real life situations,
Yeah.
that's not for me. Because
See,
it's like a fairy tale, it's not reality. So it's like
yeah.
differentiating reality from fantasy.
That's actually a really good way to say that because I feel like I do the same thing when I'm watching TV or reading. Like I'm so zoned in and then all of a sudden I'm just me again.
Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, this is great. And you're like, but in real life, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, so kind of like along that line, because you're talking about all these things and you have to like separate reality from the fantasy, but how do you get to that fantasy? What kind of research do you do, and what does that process look like for you?
Honestly, sometimes I hear a song or I'm watching a show or I'm even reading other books and then new ideas just start popping in my head. Like, oh, I'm gonna go this way with this story, or like, oh, a brand new story comes up, or like real life situations happen where like some other like type of trauma or hurt or things that create new stories in my head. Like my third book that I'll be writing, not the duet, but a third book, something happened in my life where I'm like, I'm gonna turn this situation into this and put all my pain into this. So it's like taking real things and creating something different, kind of like a release in a way too. Putting that trauma into my writing is a way to release everything from having that weight on my shoulders.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that sounds very therapeutic. So I get it. Yeah. So
That's my
last,
the dedication. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it says to everyone who becomes who they were always meant to be in the darkness, because
Yes,
we
I thought
find
it was so
ourselves in the
amazing.
darkest times.
that's beautiful.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so I'm gonna let the clock run out because we only have 7 seconds left. And I
Poor
wouldn't
thing.
even I wouldn't be able to ask my question anyways. Okay. Sorry, that's the loud sound that it makes.
No, you're fine. It's perfect.
All right. So I did want to well, before we get into the rest, so this is the end of the AMA session. Just to all of our listeners and viewers, the full episode will be posted on YouTube and Spotify if you'd like to continue watching. And we're gonna continue chatting. So I did want to ask you though, one of the questions I wanted to get in the AMA, but I didn't. Who is your, like, which character do you relate the most with? Is it the serial unaliver, or is it the victim?
Honestly, I relate to both of them like really well. So when I was writing Serena, I didn't really know who she was until the end, and that's when I was like, no, this is who she is. But I relate to her in ways that she's a plus size girl. I relate to her in ways where she has a little bit of daddy issues. I put little things where she in the book it'll talk about some earrings that she wears, like how an outfit isn't finished without earrings. That's how I feel. I have the same earrings that I put on her. So parts of her personality are what come from me. But Aster in his crazy ways, yeah, that's that's a little bit me too. Like if you anything now, especially after writing this, all my friends and family are like, they say anything crazy, they're like, "This is up your alley, Caitlin." That is totally you. Like it says, like the shirt, it says, "I am going to let karma fix it because if I do, I'm going to jail." You know, I tell people I'm gonna throw punch them all the time if they get on my nerves. So
You sound
cool
like
to them.
such a good time. I love
I
it.
try to be. I try to be.
Well, so usually at this point of the interview, we do give you the option to speak on things that you want to talk about. Was there anything that you wanted to discuss specifically?
Um, well, book two, I'm hoping comes out in August. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for an August release. I am still writing book two right now. My alphas have it, and soon it'll go to my beta readers. But I just opened up a TikTok shop, so that's exciting. I also have had a website that has way more options than my TikTok shop does. So I have a bunch of book box options where you can mix and match things. Because I have 4 character arts. I make these roses. They're satin ribbon roses, and they come in 5 different shades of blue that you can choose from or ask for random. And there's, paint on it for bloody roses because, that's Aster's signature. I make these are my spicy keychain scenes. So there's 3 scenes in blue rose that include things. So I made a spicy scene keychain, little earrings. All the weapons are different though. And then my little lamb bracelets. So little lamb is what he calls his victims and what he calls Serena with the blue rose. And I have candles that I make and wax melts that I make. But a lot of the stuff that I make, I do have on my website, but not on my TikTok shop. And I have a bunch of character art. I have custom stickers, 8 of them, and 2 bookmarks. I have a recipe card for my own personal recipe. I have so much. And I do have, me and my PA, Mallory, we just worked on getting my newsletter up and running. So we're working on that right now too.
We're gonna
Wow,
need
you
those
are
links.
incredibly talented. Like that's so much creativity goes into that stuff.
I want to put like put my heart and soul into my book, but I also wanted like with my book boxes, I wanted everything to have to do with my book. So I also have like little crystals that go in it, but I don't make the crystals. Those are just what comes with it that I bought to put in them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So like how did you decide what you were gonna make, like what crafts you were gonna do to accompany your book boxes?
So I do have a company. It's called Neverland Crafts and Creations that I do make roses. So I make satin ribbon roses already that are in different colors and different things, and I have that on my Etsy. But I always loved making my roses, and so with the blue rose, I was like, I really want to put my roses with these book boxes, or you can add them in as an extra, but I only want it in blue because it's a blue rose. I didn't want to do all the different colors that I can do. The little lamb I just love crafting in general. I'm a big crafter. Like I have my whole craft section back here and on this side of the wall. But um, I was like, I'm gonna find like I found these little murder beads so you can see the blood splatter. It says
They're cute.
SOS. There's
It
different
is
ones
so
that I
like
made.
so tailored to your book. This is awesome.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure it wasn't because he's a serial killer. The earrings, I have gold and silver. There's different weapons, and then the spicy scenes. My brain just thinks of random things at random times, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this. And
I mean,
sometimes
it
it comes out
works
great,
though.
and then other
It
times it's
really
like,
does. Like that, everything that you just showed is perfect embodiment and encompasses your book as a whole.
yeah,
Like, so
thank
I think you
you.
did a fantastic job.
Thank you so much. I can show
Yeah.
you the stickers if you want to see the custom stickers.
Yes, that is
So
nice.
there's this one. It has a quote. It says her effed up yin to my justice effed yang. I don't know if I can cuss on here, so that's something Asher says about Serena. And I made
Oh,
that little design. I made this little design for the Blue Rose
oh, that's
Looks
pretty
so
too.
cool.
cover. And
The
then I
drips
have
on
the
it were
little
so cool.
balloon.
Oh,
This is a fan favorite. Usually they choose between the little lamb and the yin yang. And so at the end, you'll see, if I don't know if you've read it yet, but if you do, you'll see that I bring up a coffee shop. And in the coffee shop, they make little horror character coffees. So I made them.
I love those.
And then the drinks that accompany them, I tell you how to kind of make them, I guess. And then I have miniature character art because I have this in a print that I give with it too, but I wanted to do a little sticker. My character artist is amazing. And then I wanted to do for the second book, but I include it now in Blue Rose too. But I wanted cutesy art of my characters that I had commissioned.
oh,
Oh my gosh, I love
Um,
it.
I'm just very extra with everything I do, I guess.
I don't think you're extra at all. That's amazing. Like that just adds to the experience.
Yeah, and it's like what would like I kind of think of also like my readers because I'm a reader too. Like I was a reader before I was a writer. Read my whole life since I was a kid, and I got more into it as an adult, especially. But I was like, what do people like to see? Like what would be something cool to have in a book box set? Because people usually just give art and bookmarks and stickers, and then that's it. So it's like, oh, that's cool, and I love art. Don't get me wrong, but I was like, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do something that I could make and put my spin on it.
Yeah.
So
I think you did a
that's it.
wonderful job. Like it really does just like I said earlier, embody exactly what comes out of your book and what you put into it. So
Yeah,
kudos. Fantastic job.
thank you.
absolutely. Yeah.
And if you'd like, I would love to link your website, but if you want to go ahead and just like, state it here so everyone listening can go to it, go for it.
Yeah. It's kcardellaauthor.com, but I can
Awesome.
definitely give the link to it too. And what's great about it is it's a 4 payment plan option on the website too. So if you want the big book box, that one comes with everything I, just showed you a little bit. Another rose that I got that is a plastic blue rose. I'll show you that. Actually, it's really pretty. It's the big book box is the only one this one comes with. So, and a bunch of little
Well, that's
Whoa.
great.
So you make that? You did all of like the gold dripping or
I
dipping and
bought
stuff?
these ones. These are
Oh,
my
okay.
foil roses.
Okay.
But I did make the sad ones. But I have a little lamb figurine, a little fox figurine, the wax, the candles. It's a crystal dagger. Actually, let me grab that and I'll show you.
Okay. I'm really digging this.
I know. We're getting like the whole show. I love this.
You are. So it has like a little fox head because
Oh,
Aster is
cool.
a fox and Serena's this little lamb.
Oh my
So a little fox
gosh.
dagger, they're all different crystals. I don't have many of these left. I don't know if I'm going to bring them back, but I have like 9 left. So once these are gone, I think they're just going to be gone. But I have little mini peen crystals and mini coughing crystals. And like the big box, like if you go on my website, you can see everything because I took a picture of everything that it comes with. It's
I'm gonna
Well,
need to
I'm
buy a
heading to your
box.
website right now.
yeah.
I'll be going shopping after this.
Yeah.
And the 4 payment plan, which is I just love that option. So when I
Yeah.
see that, I'm like 4 payment plan, yes.
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 Well, we are just about here at time. Did you have any last things that you wanted to go over before we wrapped up?
I'm hoping to be looking for ARC readers. I hope in like May-ish, end of May, beginning of June, for it'll be given to ARC readers. I'm hoping in July sometime, but I'll be posting on all of my socials. I have a Facebook author page, Instagram author page, and TikToks, and they're all Kate Cardella author. So if they want to go follow them and check out the journey. I have a bunch of teaser posts coming up about book 2. I have a ton of quotes and the character arts on my pages as well. But if you follow along, you can be able to be arcing for book 2. But the only requirement is you have to arc for book 1. Well, not arc, but you had to read book 1
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you'd be confused if you just read book 2.
Awesome. Well, we will spread the word about this and we'll
Thank you.
we'll plug your website in our caption as well so you can get more readers to look at everything that you offer.
Well, thank you so much. And I had a great time chatting with you guys this morning.
We had so
Thank
much
you.
fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Bye.
You too. Bye.